bombshell claims unearthed by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, alleging an improper romantic relationship between members of the legal team working to prosecute President Donald Trump in Georgia. Now, according to this newspaper, a former Trump staffer charged in the alleged efforts to interfere with the 2020 election accuses Fulton County DA Fani Willis of hiring a romantic partner of hers to prosecute President Trump. The paper says private attorney Nathan Wade has been paid more than $650,000 by Fulton County, and he allegedly used some of that money to take lavish vacations with DA Willis. A spokesperson for the DA said her office will respond through appropriate court filings. The article reads, quote, this: the document offers no concrete proof of the romantic ties between Willis and Wade, but says sources close to both the special prosecutor and the district attorney have confirmed they had an ongoing personal relationship. Joining us now is one of the authors of that very AJC article, Tamar Hallerman. Tamar, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
I wanted to start, just the fact that these are certainly salacious claims by this former staffer, right? And if true, they raise some serious questions. What were your initial thoughts about just how consequential these accusations were when you first got hold of this scoop?
I mean, they certainly are very stunning allegations, and not something that you would make lightly or that would come across every day. So at first it was just shock seeing what was in there. This was just ahead of a filing deadline for most of the defendants in this case. So any kind of structural or factual allegations, or quibbles that they may want to bring up ahead of trial, they had to get into the court yesterday. So that's why we saw this document, this court filing now. And the attorney behind this motion has indicated that a lot of this information she got through divorce filings from Nathan Wade, that private attorney who has helped drive this criminal case here in Atlanta. But the problem is that a lot of that evidence is now under seal. So there's not a lot of evidence out there in public to back that up, but certainly a stunning accusation, and one that really puts into question whether this investigation can move forward.
Yeah, and I'm curious just, what you find your sources when you talk to them, what are they most concerned by, Tamar? Is it just an ethics question that they shouldn't be romantically involved? Is it that Wade has received $654,000, in legal fees? Willis authorizes those fees, and now she allegedly has been using those for self-gain. Does the motion suggest a crime has been committed here? I mean, what are folks telling you that most bothers them here?
The motion does suggest potential crimes that may have been committed here. They accuse the DA of having a conflict of interest in this case by hiring her alleged romantic partner. They accuse her of potentially benefiting financially off of her investigation of former President Trump because her special prosecutor allegedly took her on trips using money that he was paid. But at this point, it seems like an optics problem. Prosecutors are supposed to be disinterested in their subjects who end up getting indicted. And so it certainly is a bad look. And we haven't heard from the DA yet, or Mr. Wade, her special prosecutor. They mentioned they're going to be responding in appropriate court filings, but we don't know how much of this they're going to be contesting, or whether they have evidence to show that these bombshell allegations are not true. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, you already have plenty of Republicans who have said that this investigation is a witch hunt going after Donald Trump and many of his acolytes here in Georgia. Certainly, these allegations only add fuel to that fire. And we saw even last night on Truth Social, Donald Trump's social media platform, he was already been posting about all of this. So certainly it's a headache for the DA's office as well. I think there's also a question, depending on the receipts that are ultimately provided one day, what can be proven?
And I have a few seconds left with you, but I can't let you go without asking this question. I mean, how could these allegations affect the Fulton County case against the former president? Is this grounds for the case being thrown out or charges being dropped?
I think a lot of that depends on the evidence that ultimately arises out of this case. And at this point, we haven't seen that yet.
Okay. Tamar Hallerman, thank you so much for your time this morning following the release of your article. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll check.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.